Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Chad's Perspectives. You can tell by the thumbnail we are really going to get into something that some people may find a little touchy. So that, in addition to a couple other perspectives I have about the current state of affairs in credit card community YouTube, are what we're going to get into right after this.
Welcome back to my dad's channel. If you're new here, make sure to click that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to share.
So there's no doubt about it. The Wells Fargo Autograph Journey is the newest, hottest topic. That is fantastic. Wells Fargo finally did it. They finally gave the people the information that they so fervently were seeking, they so hungrily desired. And to that, I have to say, really. I get it. It's new news, and now you have a plethora of videos, one after the other, everybody. Same, I'm surprised I haven't even seen the very same exact thumbnail where they just swapped the faces. The same, and so on and so forth. All of these videos are cropping up and cropping up and cropping up because everybody's riding the wave of the new information of the Wells Fargo autograph card. But look, let's just face it, it's stale. Now, this news would have hit a lot harder, let's say if it came out in, say, November or December. This one I put on Wells Fargo because here's what they could have done. They could have alluded to the coming of a new card and what it may entail by word of mouth, nothing concrete, but they went so far as to put it on the actual bill that is of public record, that people read and possess. It doesn't make any sense, only to then push it back, push it back, push it back. We are now heading squarely into Q2 of 2024, only to find out that we basically have, and not exactly a juggernaut, but stiff competition for the Chase Sapphire Preferred. We get a couple of credits, $95 annual fee, and a few travel partners. There are not even 10 of them, which makes no sense, especially since the no annual fee autograph card, since it's a points earning, and this is their words, not mine, a points earning Wells Fargo card, will now also have access to those travel partners who will not be available until next month. And the reason I do the air quotes is that at this point, Wells Fargo has pretty much shown that as far as time is concerned, no one's really gotten a grasp on exactly how that works. So one time actually could mean 2 or 3 following times. Now, it's great. You get 60,000 points for a $4,000 spend for a new card with an annual fee through Wells Fargo that everyone has chosen is the only bank ever in the history of the world that has ever done anything unethical. I mean, I have no clue how they came to that conclusion, but whatever, that's a different video for a different day. But at this point now, you get, just like my thumbnail, a lot of clickbaity videos to only tell you these things. New card's coming, you may want to get it. I don't know how I'm going to use it, and then that's pretty much it. Then they read the pamphlet or read the press release, and it's word for word. Great. Big whoop. But I can tell you, I'm not really excited. As far as I'm concerned, if you already have the regular autograph card, which is a powerful card in and of itself, with its cell phone insurance, and the multipliers upon multipliers upon multipliers, the fact that it's already a Visa signature, I just don't feel like you're getting much more for your $95. You get some points multipliers here for a hotel and a credit. Big deal. But you're already dealing with people who don't really spend a lot of money anyway. So it is what it is. But yeah, that is my first perspective as far as I'm concerned. This news for the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey card really just didn't hit the mark for me. And if you are a discerning credit card connoisseur, as I hope you are if you are perusing this channel, it probably won't hit the mark for you. Let's look for some, real things to happen here before everybody takes their turn on clicking on this face or the next. Now for the next one. Let's talk about scarcity mindset. You have a lot of people out there who actually exhibit a lot of the textbook traits for a scarcity mindset. You have credit cards, you're in the credit card game, but you don't want to spend any money. That tells me that I don't know if you know how credit cards work. The fact is it is an avenue for you to spend money that you do not have within a certain grace period, but you are sure that you are going to get. That's how come on this channel you don't hear me consistently say we should pay our bills on time and in full. If I have to keep telling you, the viewing audience, that you need to pay your debts, not your credit card bills, your debts on time and in full, then either I'm not giving you what you need or you're in the wrong place. So I'm not going to do that. The fact is that scarcity mindset is just one that does not work in the credit card game, be it cashback or travel, because one of two things are going to happen. You are either A, you are not going to spend enough to take advantage of a credit card fully, to fully optimize the multipliers and the benefits that come with it, because they almost all require spend, even the no annual fee cards. So you have that problem where you're literally not getting bang for your buck and you are leaving money on the table. And we all know how I feel about leaving money on the table. Give me that. Or you set yourself up for a situation where, because of your scarcity mentality, you tend to use your credit cards as a quote unquote emergency fund, as an emergency kickback if something happens, and invariably you will overspend. I am not asking you, I am telling you, it is going to happen. No one cheaps out for their survival. No one cheaps out to right the ship. Everyone almost always overcompensates. So the scarcity mentality of I cannot run a balance, I can't bring up any sort of balance whatsoever. On its surface, it may mask itself as responsibility, but in the grand scheme of things, if that is what you're doing, then you need to be on a full cash setup. That way, even if you turn out to actually be a human being like the rest of us and you make a mistake, you won't fall down the rabbit hole of debt that you have convinced yourself is impossible to get out of. I am someone, I do not have a scarcity mindset. I have been in crushing credit card debt on at least 3 separate occasions, to which I've paid off, come back, paid off, come back, paid off, come back. Yes, interest sucks. I do not want you to pay it. I don't want to pay interest. Is it something that happens? Yeah, because interest is not so terrible, or else most of you wouldn't be driving cars, because every month you make that car payment, guess what you're paying? Interest. If you're paying a mortgage, guess what you're paying every month, amortized over 30 years? Interest. So let's not act as though interest is the bleach that you find in the colorful bottle under the sink that people may or may not have warned you not to taste to see if it tastes like a thing. But anyway, I'm not going to go on a tangent there. But the fact is that scarcity mindset does not have any place in the credit card game. To the other extreme, you definitely don't want to spend money that you cannot pay back in a reasonable sense. You know what I mean? In a reasonable time frame, but sometimes things are going to happen. But scarcity mindset definitely does not do it. I do not advocate for it, especially if you are going to be using credit cards. Where scarcity is concerned, that is where you want to stay with cash, as it is liquid and you can have it dictate how you move. Now, for my credit card folks, if you have credit cards that you are working on subs for, which I hope you do, because that is always going to be your best return on spend. I am telling you right now, this is something that maybe no one has told you, because I haven't seen a video on it. You should aim to spend at least 50% of your sub in the highest multiplying category, or the highest category that uses the benefits of the card in that sub period. Example, you get an airline card, like the American Airlines City Business Platinum, you know, who knows? But you get one of those and there's 2x in gas, there's 2x in airline purchases. At this point, you should be utilizing that 2x as much as you possibly can to further elevate your return on spend. Because if you have a card like that, or even if you have another card with transferable currencies, let's use the American Express Green Card that gets 3x for travel, 3x for transit, 3x for food, but you spend all your money in the 1x category, you you're gonna get the sub, but you're really not using it to its full potential. So now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who sign up for cards because they know that they have something coming up. Like, let's say, for instance, I have a family of 4, and they know that they have to take a trip across the country from, let's call it Boston to LA, and hey, I'm the dad, I want everybody together on the same plane. We don't have to be in economy, we got a little money, so we know we're gonna spend maybe $1,000 a ticket. Okay, I get a JetBlue card, guess what my sub is? $4,000 spend in the first 3 months for X amount of JetBlue points and JetBlue purchases will be the highest multiplier there. That's great. That's a great way to use these cards. Now, I know that those situations are not going to come up all the time. So for us who live in the normal real world, I would highly advise that whenever you get these cards for the sub, find the highest multiplier and try to concentrate at least 50% of your spend in order to make the sub make the most sense. That way you're earning points during your sub period, you're earning them at the highest rate possible, plus you're waiting to be blessed with the large pool at the end of the rainbow. So that is just something that I have not seen people say, and I am going to tell you because it is the best idea to do. And on top of that, normally with the higher multiplier, you tend to spend more on one thing instead of uncontrollably sliding your card, and then out of the blue, you spend $4,000 or $5,000 that you don't have. It happens. So that is definitely something I would tell you to concentrate on, as it would make the best use case. It would be the most efficient way to hit your subs, especially if you spend responsibly. Now, for the YouTube perspective, which I always end these on, this perspective is do not hesitate, do not forget, do not miss an opportunity to give yourself your flowers. What do I mean by that? What I've noticed as a creator for the last 2 years, or Lord knows how long I've been doing it, is that, and I'm going to give myself my flowers here, I have said from the beginning, larger channels will watch your material. Understand, larger channels, by virtue of good business, will be watching whatever you do. They will steal your material. They will pass it off as their own and take advantage of larger viewerships. I said that. See, that's me giving myself my flowers, giving myself my credit. What I am telling you now is that if you hesitate to quote yourself and or correct yourself as well, don't forget that, be sure that you understand that you have created a library of content. Whether you think it's on par with Hollywood pictures, whether you think it's on par with someone with 100 million subscribers, you still have a library of verifiable content that you can reference. I get it. I am always about fostering community, but don't forget yourself in the midst of that, because what will end up happening, and I've seen it even in this community, there will be a microcosm of people who will ascribe all of the credit for every thought and every idea to one or two people, even though they have either A, heard it, B, participated in the idea being innovated somewhere else. So understand that people have businesses and it's all about views and so on and so forth. So they'll do whatever they can to get the views. But I'm telling you, as a creator, give yourself your flowers. I am telling you as a creator, don't be afraid to record a retraction. Hey, I made a mistake in this video. I want to remedy it here. And don't feel bad about referencing your own video in your new video, because I'm telling you right now, if you are not in some of these subgroups and subcultures, you will find that you will be watching your ideas and your expressions that you have shared here, there, and everywhere be ascribed to someone else who in some cases doesn't even know that the credit is being given to them, but they're certainly not going to give it back. So especially if you are a new creator, if you are a smaller creator, please, 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 it is not doing the most. It is not an irritation to anyone who is watching your content in good faith, but just remember, always claim what you've done, fix what you've done wrong, and talk about what you've done right. It's all a part of the business. But with that being considered, these are the perspectives that I wanted to share with you guys. As always, it is a great time for me to do these. Leave your comments in the comments section for, against. I only ask that the discourse be respectful. I have been corrected in the comments. I am totally okay with that. And I'm okay with people disagreeing with me. That's the other thing. Please feel free to disagree. That's the only way we move this thing forward. We cannot all agree all the time. Just because we're all credit card nerds doesn't mean that we all specialize in the same nerd category. So feel free to disagree, but I would love to hear your contents and your thoughts about these perspectives, as they are super fun for me to do. This is the part where I say, look at the pointy thing. Maybe you watch that video, maybe you watch that one. And without further ado, let me stop wasting your time before I start babbling and say, take it easy.